Life is a journey, a path filled with challenges, choices, and opportunities. But sometimes, amidst all the noise and distractions, it can be hard to know which direction to take. We often find ourselves searching for answers, wondering what the next step is, and longing for clarity in the midst of uncertainty. But here's the thing. Finding God's direction for your life isn't just about making decisions. It's about understanding that there is a bigger plan at work. It's about realizing that you're not walking alone. You have a purpose, a calling, and it's waiting for you to step into it. Now, we all face moments where we're unsure of what to do next. But in those moments, there is a power far greater than ourselves guiding us. It's about trusting that God has a specific path for you, a purpose designed for your growth, your strengths, and your journey. It's about believing that no matter how difficult the road may seem, there is a reason behind every step. As we navigate through life's ups and downs, the most important thing we can do is stay aligned with that divine direction. And when we learn to listen, trust, and follow, we begin to see how everything falls into place in ways we could never have imagined. The challenge, then, is not in trying to find that direction. It's in learning to recognize it, embrace it, and move forward with confidence. Because when you're on the right path, there's a sense of peace and clarity that follows. The journey becomes clearer, and the obstacles less daunting. And when you start following that divine guidance, you'll discover a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose than you could ever achieve on your own. So let's take a moment to think about where we are right now and ask ourselves, am I truly seeking God's direction for my life? And if so, how am I responding to it? Because that, my friends, is the beginning of something powerful. Sure, here are 5 potential headings for a motivational speech on the topic, Finding God's Direction for Your Life. 1. Understanding the divine blueprint for your life. 2. Trusting God's timing, navigating uncertainty with faith. 3. Aligning your purpose with God's plan. 4. Overcoming doubts and embracing God's guidance. 5. Taking action, walking boldly in the path God has set for you. Explanation of one powerful heading is, when you take a moment to pause and reflect on your life, it's essential to understand that you weren't just placed here by accident. There's a divine blueprint for your life, a plan designed uniquely for you even before you were born. Now you may look around and wonder how everything is supposed to fit together, especially when life feels uncertain or difficult. But here's the truth. That divine plan isn't just about random events or coincidences. It's about purpose. It's about creating a story that aligns with something much larger than yourself. Every choice you make, every challenge you face, and every victory you celebrate is a piece of that divine puzzle. When you begin to see your life through this lens, you start to realize that nothing is wasted. The struggles, the setbacks, the seasons of doubt, they all serve a purpose. They refine you, they shape your character, and they lead you closer to understanding why you're here in the first place. The key to understanding this blueprint is trust. Trust that there is a plan in motion, even when things aren't going as expected. You see, most people want immediate results. They want clear, direct answers, and they want them now. But the truth is, God's plan for your life is often a journey that unfolds piece by piece. The key is not in rushing ahead, but in walking step by step, learning to listen, and learning to trust in the process. As you begin to understand that divine blueprint, you start seeing patterns. You start recognizing that your talents, your passions, your experiences, they're not random. They are all part of a larger design. Your unique gifts, the things that light you up, those things are clues. They are guiding you toward your purpose. The challenge, though, is being willing to pursue them, even when it's uncomfortable or unclear. The road might not always be smooth, but it's in the stepping forward, trusting that you are moving closer to your purpose, where you'll find fulfillment. The more you lean into this understanding, the more you begin to realize that every moment, every encounter, and every opportunity is woven into the divine fabric of your life. The people you meet, the lessons you learn, and even the failures you experience, they're all part of that grand design. Each part, though it may not make sense in the moment, is leading you towards something greater. And when you understand this, It frees you from the pressure of needing to have all the answers right now. You begin to live with a sense of peace, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be in this moment, even if you don't yet see the full picture. Explanation of 2 heading is, life has a way of moving at its own pace, doesn't it? You might find yourself in a season where things seem to be moving slowly, or maybe you're in a place where everything feels uncertain. You've set goals, you've worked hard, and yet the outcomes seem to be taking longer than expected. You may feel like you're just waiting, like you're stuck in limbo. But let me tell you something. Trusting God's timing is one of the most powerful keys to navigating those moments of uncertainty. God's timing isn't like the world's timing. We live in a society that's obsessed with instant gratification, where everything is expected to happen right now. But the reality is, there's a bigger plan at work. The time when things unfold in your life is not always when you want them to, but it is always when you need them to. And that's where faith comes in. You can't always see the end result right now, but trusting in that unseen hand guiding you allows you to move forward with peace, even when things are uncertain. You see, life is like planting seeds. You don't plant a seed and expect it to grow overnight. You water it, nurture it, and give it time to take root. In the same way, God is planting seeds in your life, seeds of purpose, opportunity, and growth. But they need time to grow, and they need the right conditions. Sometimes those conditions are things like patience, resilience, and trust. And just like any seed, sometimes the growth you can't see is happening beneath the surface, in places where you don't have access. But make no mistake, it's happening. The challenge for most people comes when they don't see immediate results. When you're in that season of waiting, it's easy to get discouraged. You wonder if you're doing something wrong or if you're on the wrong path. You may even feel like you're falling behind. But remember, God's timing is always perfect. He sees the bigger picture. He knows what you need, and when you need it, far better than you do. And here's the key. When you trust in His timing, you free yourself from the pressure of trying to make everything happen on your own timeline. Trusting in God's timing means stepping back and allowing Him to lead. It means recognizing that just because things aren't happening on your schedule doesn't mean they aren't happening at all. In fact, often the waiting period is a time of preparation. God is preparing you for something greater, something that would not have been possible if you had rushed the process. Maybe it's building your character, refining your skills, or teaching you lessons you wouldn't have learned otherwise. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to grow, to build your trust, and to prepare for what's ahead. Explanation of 3 heading is, one of the most powerful things you can do in life is to align your purpose with God's plan. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily life, chasing after success, achievement, and recognition. But when you pause and take a moment to reflect on why you're here, you'll realize that there's something far greater than all of that. Your purpose isn't just about what you can achieve for yourself. It's about what you're meant to contribute, what you're meant to build, and how you're meant to serve. And when you align that purpose with God's plan, everything starts to fall into place in a way you could never have imagined. Many people spend their lives searching for meaning, wondering what they're supposed to do, where they're supposed to go, and who they're supposed to become. And while these questions are important, the real breakthrough comes when you start asking yourself a different question. How does what I do align with the plan God has for my life? When you understand that your purpose is part of a larger divine design, it takes the pressure off. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. God already has a plan, and you're a part of it. Now, aligning your purpose with God's plan doesn't mean that everything will be handed to you on a silver platter. It doesn't mean that the road will be without challenges or obstacles. In fact, aligning with God's purpose often requires you to step outside your comfort zone, to stretch beyond your limits, and to trust that you're exactly where you need to be, even when the path ahead is unclear. But here's the key. When you align yourself with God's plan, you begin to move with a sense of clarity and conviction that makes every step you take meaningful. You'll start to notice that things begin to align in your life in unexpected ways. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach begin to appear. People who can help you grow and succeed start showing up. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. Why? Because when you align your purpose with God's plan, you're walking in the flow of what you were created to do. You're no longer fighting against the current of life, you're swimming with it. Explanation of heading 4 is doubt. It's something every person faces at some point on their journey. You've felt it. That nagging voice inside that questions whether you're on the right path. That fear that maybe you're not good enough, not strong enough, or maybe even that God's plan isn't really meant for you. But here's the thing. Doubt isn't a signal to stop. It's an invitation to grow, to lean deeper into God's guidance, and to trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Doubt is part of the human experience. It's a natural response to the unknown, to the challenges that life brings. But it doesn't have to control you. It doesn't have to keep you stuck. The key is learning how to overcome it and embrace the divine guidance that's always available to you. It's about recognizing that in the midst of your doubts, God is speaking to you, guiding you, and reminding you that His plan for your life is far greater than anything your doubts can create. The first step to overcoming doubt is recognizing that it's okay to feel uncertain. The great thing about doubt is that it often comes with a lesson. When you feel unsure of yourself, that's when you need to dig deep. It's a signal to check in with your faith. It's a reminder to slow down and listen. God's guidance isn't always loud or obvious. It's often a quiet whisper, a nudge in the right direction. The more you train yourself to recognize and respond to that gentle guidance, the more you'll see how it leads you in ways that surpass what your doubts could ever predict. In those moments of doubt, you need to remind yourself of something powerful. God's guidance is always trustworthy. It's not like the fleeting opinions of others or the shifting tides of the world. It's constant, it's steady, and it's always leading you towards something greater than you can see in the moment. When you embrace that truth, doubt begins to lose its power. You start to move forward with confidence, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust that you're not walking this journey alone. One of the most freeing things you can do in times of doubt is to surrender. You see, when you try to control everything, when you feel like you have to figure it all out by yourself, that's when doubt grows. But when you let go, when you surrender your plans to God and trust in His timing, you create the space for His guidance to flow freely. It's in that surrender that you begin to feel the peace that comes with knowing you're being led by something far wiser than your own understanding. But let's be honest, overcoming doubt takes work. It requires practice. It requires developing the kind of faith that isn't shaken by the storms of life. It means continually reminding yourself of God's promises, of His faithfulness, and of the fact that He has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. When you embrace that truth, when you start to believe it deep down, doubt starts to lose its grip. You begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth, not as signs of failure. And here's something powerful. The more you embrace God's guidance, the more you begin to see His hand at work in your life. You'll find that the doors open at just the right time, the right people show up when you need them. And even in moments of difficulty, you'll feel a sense of peace and assurance that you're not facing it alone. That's God's guidance in action, helping you move forward even when you can't see the full picture. So when doubt creeps in, don't let it stop you. Let it remind you to lean into your faith, to trust God's plan, and to listen for His voice in your life. Doubt is just a bump in the road, not a dead end. Embrace the guidance that's always available to you, because when you do, you'll find yourself moving forward with confidence, purpose, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. Explanation of 5 heading is, taking action is the difference between having a dream and seeing it come to life. We can have all the faith, all the purpose, and all the right intentions, but if we don't take action, nothing changes. God has set a path for you, a unique journey that is yours alone. But here's the truth. That path isn't going to walk itself. It's up to you to take those first steps, to move forward with purpose, and to walk boldly in the direction He's leading you. Now, I know that walking boldly doesn't mean you won't feel fear or uncertainty along the way. It doesn't mean that every step will be easy or that the road will always be clear. But here's the thing. When you're walking the path God has set for you, you're not walking alone. There's a power greater than yourself guiding you, strengthening you, and opening doors you never thought possible. The boldness isn't in knowing exactly how everything will work out. It's in trusting that even when you can't see the whole picture, you are exactly where you need to be. Taking action is where faith meets purpose. It's one thing to believe that God has a plan for you, but it's another to act on that belief. You can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth, and to trust that each step is moving you in the right direction. When you walk boldly, you're showing God that you trust His plan, that you believe in your ability to fulfill the purpose He's placed inside of you. You might think that taking action means making big, dramatic moves, but often, it's the small, consistent steps that make the biggest difference. It's choosing to show up every day with a heart ready to serve, a mind focused on growth, and a spirit open to God's guidance. It's in the quiet moments when you make the choice to keep going, even when the results aren't immediate. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know the exact outcome. What matters is that you're willing to step forward, even if it's one small step at a time. As you take action, you'll start to see that every step, no matter how small, builds momentum. The more you walk boldly, the more you begin to realize that you're not just going through life, you're actively creating it. You're aligning your actions with your purpose, and when your actions are aligned with God's plan for your life, doors begin to open, opportunities begin to appear, and things start to fall into place in ways that you couldn't have imagined. But it's not always easy. Fear, doubt, and discouragement will try to hold you back. The enemy will tell you that you're not ready, that you're not qualified, or that you'll never make it. But remember, when you're walking in the path God has set for you, you have all the qualifications you need. He has already equipped you with the skills, the talents, and the resources to succeed. Your job is to walk forward in faith, knowing that He is leading you, that He is making a way, and that His timing is perfect. Taking action also means embracing the challenges that come with the journey. There will be obstacles, and there will be moments when you want to give up. But it's in those moments when things are tough that you have the opportunity to grow the most. God uses the challenges to refine you, to strengthen your character, and to prepare you for even greater things ahead. The key is not to shrink back in fear, but to face each challenge with boldness, knowing that you are walking in alignment with your purpose. So take action. Walk boldly in the path God has set for you. Trust that every step, no matter how small, is leading you towards something incredible. And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Each action you take is building the life you were meant to live, and when you move forward with faith and courage, you will see God's plan unfold in ways you could never have imagined. Keep walking boldly, and watch how He transforms your life. As you walk boldly in the path God has set for you, remember that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your purpose. Embrace the journey with faith, knowing that challenges are just opportunities for growth. Trust in God's timing, guidance, and plan, and take action with confidence. You are equipped for what lies ahead. Keep moving forward with boldness and watch as God transforms your life, fulfilling the incredible purpose He's designed for you.